I do often listen to both the Atheist Experience and Talk Heathen programs, although my interest is why the Christians believe what they do, psychology, not evidence for God's existence, mainly because Christian beliefs are authoritarian and fascistly in favor of God over themselves and everybody else. Because I don't care if God does exist, I don't agree with God and would reject him if his existence was known to us.
Why do we live in a world where justice isn't going to be served?
Why did God create a world where we need justice?
This is the main reason I've uploaded this video, and I'll talk like I'm talking to Shannon, should she click on this video. You're on the right track with that question, Shannon. God being all-powerful and such, he should have been able to create life that didn't require an economy or morality, which would eliminate the need for justice. I'll go even further to say that God deserves justice, if anybody does, because he not only created life without consent, but also set Adam and Eve up, only to inflict us with our sufferable existence. Even if Adam and Eve are at fault, that doesn't justify God viciously punishing them, nor does their fault justify God involving us.
Well, I mean, if you're an atheist, I wouldn't be concerned about why God did this or did that.
If you're a Christian, I would be.
Because,
You didn't hold Mark's feet to the fire on that question. This isn't what I would have responded with here either. Mark said we atheists shouldn't be concerned with why God did this or that, and I would have explained to him that we aren't concerned with God, but the Christians, because we had to put up with them, not God. God isn't here. Christians not only assert that God is love because he gave us life, but they also agree with God's bullshit terms and conditions for our existence, despite being omnipotent and such. I would then have asked Mark why he approves of God having created life that needs justice, as he created us to live such a vulnerable existence, to the planet itself, to other species of life, and especially to each other.
I'm sure you guys will agree with me that the court system has fallen, is broken in our society, which, of course, I think that presupposes Christianity.
Even if it does presuppose Christianity, how does that make Christianity a good truth, and God a benevolent, loving creator? How does this broken and fallen system make anybody right to believe in and agree with Christianity?
Well, I mean, that's why I was going to ask you, what has got to exist in order for justice to be served?
Is this a matter of justice being served, or why whatever happened? The problem with most people is they are looking at the world the wrong way. They should be focused on correction and problem solving, so that less crime happens. We should be trying to improve society and move forward, and make life more fair for everybody, instead of worrying about injustices and how justice should be carried out. Sin is only an act of offending God, in the sense of hurting his feelings, by simply doing what we want instead of what God wants, doing his will. This means sin is not injustice against any human, something which many Christians would argue that God is allowed to do, but only God is allowed to do, because he's God. External narcissism.
As hard as I can to do as much good as I can for society. When a God finally is apparent to me, based on your perspective, it'll be after this finite existence, and God will no longer allow me at that point to even have the forgiveness that he's offering me now. So why would God rescind the offer to forgive me and then punish me forever simply for not believing in him, and let a murderer go to heaven simply for making the choice to believe in him? How does that equate to justice?
Well, I've heard atheists talk about, what you just said about the murderer and stuff like that. And I'm not sure how often that happens.
But if murder. They died. Do you know how many murderers are in jail going, I believe in God now? All freaking.
I would have cut him off after he said, I've heard other atheists, and asked him if I asked what he heard other atheists say, because he evaded the question. I'll leave it at that, though. Like I say, Shannon, just a friendly criticism and corrections here.